Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Story on the Spot. My name is Jim Heskett. I'm the arbiter of this experiment, and going around clockwise is Mr. R.A. McGee. It says clown to the left of him, Joker to the right. Down below, Kevin Tumlinson, and then to the left, Nick, not where Kevin is, Thacker, because they are actually may or may not be sitting at the same table from opposite sides. You can't really see. Hello, everyone. One thing I want to, let me put up this banner here real quick. If you're watching live or if you're watching later, oh, look at that. Comment down below and tell us where you're watching from. Tell us where you are watching from. And don't forget to vote for your favorite story pitch after each round. Kevin and Nick are moving around a little bit. All right. So last week, we have a winner from last week, and it's Mr. R.A. McGee, but we really only had a couple of votes. We have people out there. We really need you to vote for your favorite stories today. And I am going to put this up here. Right. Oh. Boom. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to read this story prompt, and then the three guys around me are going to pitch me ideas, and then you watching at home, Joan Bailey's watching from New Jersey, you watching at home, let us know which one of the story pitches you think won the round. Okay. Kevin stepped away, so there's Kevin. Aquabear to the rescue. A northern Michigan beer company enlisted the help of a seaplane to make 6 special deliveries to families on waterfront properties. Steve Smith, aka Aquabear, I don't know why, took off in his seaplane Saturday morning with Joe Short, owner and founder of Short's Brewing Company, to deliver 6 crates of beer to waterfront properties in Antrim County. The Elk Rapids-based brewery offered a limited run of seaplane deliveries online, and the slots quickly sold out. So what we have is a guy who's the Aquabear, even though Aqua Beer would probably make a lot more sense. He's Aquabear. They deliver beer via plane to people around the lakes in Michigan. So a very simple prompt, and someone is going to have to go first. Is that going to be R.A., Kevin, Nick? Who among you is brave enough to be the first to pitch us a story today?
I'll do it. I'll always be the sacrificial lamb. Okay, right. So I think that the Corona quarantine has affected all kinds of industries, and I think it's also affected the spy game. Okay, so I think that what you have are multiple safe houses around the lakes in Michigan, right? And that these spies, per the county regulations, haven't been able to get out and get the supplies that they need, up to and including ammunition, guns, fake passports, things like that. And so Aquabear is actually an asset who works for the agency, the CIA, and under the guise of delivering alcohol, which is an essential function, he has resupplied all of the spies that are in these safe houses, bringing them, on top of food, weapons and money and medicine and things like that. And that the beer is all a front, and the competition online was all a front to give them an excuse to resupply some of their assets in the field. So.
All right. Nicely done. Thank you, R.A., for that story pitch. Kevin, Nick, which of you would like to go second? See, Nick's unmuted himself. He's ready.
I'm unmuted. I'm ready.
Let's hear it.
Okay. What we have here, I'm watching myself and Kevin's screen, actually. So.
Inception. Story on the spotception.
That's weird.
What these guys don't know is I'm actually in Jim and BJ's house as well. They just don't know. All right, what we've clearly got here is a sting operation that the CIA is working with this small seaplane company to track some Russian spies that have infiltrated Canada and are trying to get into the United States. Now these spies, they know love beer, and so what they're doing is they've put a tracker device in one of the 6-packs of beer that Aqua Bear is delivering, and they're making it look like he's delivering it to just 6 people, 6 random guys, but one of the people that he's delivering to is one of the Russian spies who has a boat and is about to go on a massive operation to get into the United States. So they're hoping he brings the beer with him. He throws it on the boat for his little entrance to the United States, and they're going to track him all the whole way until he drinks the beer and throws it over the side.
All right, thank you, Nick Thacker. All right, Kevin Tomlinson, bring us home for the first story. What do you have? What's your story pitch?
Okay, I think this comes down to alien invasion. What we have is Aqua Bear is an operative for he's the front man for an alien invasion. What he's doing is preparing the way. So we need the aliens need to have basically host bodies, and they need to start in isolated areas. So the first thing they did was get in touch. They actually took over Aqua Bear and recruited him to do their work for them. And he's actually delivering vials of infected material that are disguised as alcohol. And when the people consume them, they will become infected by the alien creatures, and then those will take over and use the bodies as hosts. And that's how the invasion begins.
All right, thank you, Kevin Tomlinson.
Hey, your story sucks.
It would be invasion of the Hoppy Snatchers.
Invasion of the Hoppy Snatchers. There's a good place to use our first new graphic. Invasion of the Hoppy Snatchers, perhaps. So vote, comment below, let us know which of those pitches you think wins the round. And I'm going to put this up here again. Story number 2. I'm not dead yet. When Juan Ramon Alfonso Panayo, 20, of Paraguay, failed to return after leaving his home, his family assumed the worst. The town lies on the border with Brazil, reported the BBC, and is a hotbed of illegal drug activity. Police found a charred body 3 days later and called Panayo's family, who accepted that the burned beyond recognition remains had to be him, and they proceeded with funeral arrangements. At the ensuing wake, Panayo walked nonchalantly into the room, wondering whose funeral it was. The non-Panayo body was returned to the morgue. All right, Kevin has disappeared. So, there he is again. Okay, so what you've got here is a clear case of a Paraguayan guy who disappeared, went on a little, it doesn't say where he went, but he was just off for a few days having fun. He's a 20-year-old guy. And his parents think he's the charred remains. So during the funeral, he comes in, is like, what's everybody doing here? Who would be like to be the first to pitch us a story based on this little prompt?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, Kevin.
Just in case I get booted again. Okay, so I think this is an alternate reality scenario. I like these. So our guy, what's his name? Panayo?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So Panayo really was captured and murdered by this drug cartel, and the guy who walked into this thing is actually a Panayo from an alternate reality. And what we've got here is a case of the drug runners have been. He stumbled onto something they're doing, some technology they've stolen that they think is going to help them run drugs across the border a lot easier, like almost like a stealth technology. Like they've tried it out, and what they found is, they can go in here and they come out on the other side of the border. But what they've really been doing is tearing open a hole in the fabric of space and time. And when they murdered Panayo, who had stumbled onto their activities, they were trying to hide, keep all this secret, but they accidentally let in an alternate version of him who walks in on this funeral.
All right. Thank you.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, Kevin Tomlinson. All right, Nick or RA, would you like to go next?
I'll go. I'll let Nick recover from that sneeze and think for a couple more. Think for a couple more seconds.
Like 5 people over here that just died, but
I know that's awful, man. Patient X. All right, so I think that this whole situation is the interlude to a straight thriller book with a counterterrorism team, Rainbow Six style, that's not beholden to any countries or anything like that. The area that they're talking about down there in Brazil and Paraguay is part of the Triple Frontier, where the three borders meet down there. And it is a hotbed for, crazy drugs and things like that. And so I think that this is just the beginning of the story that our friend Pineo left and was kidnapped by drug traffickers because he had information relevant to them. They let him go. And then, the whole conundrum with the wrong person at the wake would alert the authorities. The authorities would ask for help from our shadowy international thriller strike team. And then they would go down to the Triple Frontier and use that as a gateway to, start putting it into some of the cartel gangs down there. So this is all just the very beginning of a really hard thriller story.
All right, very nice. Thank you, R.A. McGee. And now I believe Nick Thacker is the last remaining contestant. Nick, what's your story pitch for I'm Not Dead Yet?
The answer, guys. I mean, this is just a classic case of a legal drug cartel that Pineo is trying to actually get off the ground. So he's trying to compete with these guys between the government and the cartels that are already down there. It's almost impossible to get anything over the border from Brazil into Paraguay, right? And so what he's doing is he's trying to start kind of a local thing based on a miracle drug type thing, a miracle illicit drug from the rainforest down over the cliffs into Brazil. So he's found it. He's found a source, but the only way to get it in is inside of a body. Now, he can't just do that because that's a pretty common thing to do, drug cartel runners, I think. So they have, people that check for that kind of stuff at the border. Now, what he cooked up was this idea that if he can die, his family will look for him. There'll be a publicized event long before he actually tries to get the drugs across the border. And so by the time he's able to go get a body in Brazil of somebody, some homeless guy there, and char it so it's unrecognizable, and then put the drugs inside and get it to the border, there's already a very plausible story that he's gone missing. So when he, disguised, goes to the border and says, hey, I'm bringing this body back home. This is the body of Pineo. Here's all the stories and stuff. And everyone looks and says, oh, he's just a normal kid. Let it go across the border. Well, now he's got a body across the border in Paraguay with the drugs inside of it, and he can start his illegal operation. Dun.
Very nice. Thank you, Nick Thacker. If you're watching, vote by comment. Which of those story pitches won the round? Let us know. Nick's pointing at himself. All right. So this is called Like Mother. Simon Kondorura was joined by dozens of male relatives mourning his mother's death in North Taraha, Indonesia, as they carried her coffin to a lakian, a wooden stilt structure upon which the departed are placed during traditional funeral ceremonies. As they hoisted the coffin up on a bamboo ladder, the ladder broke, the coffin fell, striking people in the crowd, including Simon himself, who suffered a severe head injury and died on the way to the hospital. Also could have called the story like, you're going to be the death of me or something like that, something a mother would say. But it's a little bit reversed because, oops. Kevin Tomlinson is back. Hello, Kevin Tomlinson. Welcome back to Story on the Spot. Go away for a minute.
It's good to be here.
Good to be here. Okay, so this guy in Indonesia, his mother died, and they were going to put him up on the big thing like they put the big funeral pyre, kind of, but it collapsed and fell off, and the coffin hit the guy and killed him. So, who would like to be the first to pitch us a story based on this idea? Who hasn't gone first yet?
I think Nick hasn't, right?
Yeah, Nick is looking away, he's trying to sit in the back of the class and not get noticed. But Nick Thacker, we're looking at you right there. I can even make you the only person on the screen.
All right. Well, I think what we've got here is a classic story, just like the Egyptian queen that was when she died. The curse was set on her deceased body. This woman in Indonesia is actually the great-granddaughter of a queen, and there's a curse around the family's name. Modern times, everyone's sort of forgotten about it. And so nobody realizes that when she died, she needed to be buried in a certain way, and that anybody who didn't respect or honor the wishes of this person or knew about the location of her grave will be killed. So we're entering the story in medias res, right, where this is all starting to happen. But what we realize is all these people are going to die at some point in time in the near future because they know where their mother's body is. So you've got the story is one. It's told by one of the sons who's trying not to die. So it's sort of like a Final Destination meets like an Egyptian curse type story.
All right.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you, Nick Thacker. Kevin or RA, who would like to go second? Let me put the story back up here so you can see. Who wants to go second?
I can go. I don't mind.
All right, RA, what you got for us today?
Okay, so I'm a little mad at Nick for stealing the Final Destination angle because that's where I wanted to go. That's what I get for not going first. But what I think is that we have a case of death always wanting to make sure it gets its due. I think the mom was in a very bad car crash when she was a youth. She was taken to a hospital, and that the doctors had to do a very experimental procedure to save her life. They had to, crack open her chest, bring her heart out, and they had to, give her chest compressions to the heart itself. And back then, that wasn't very common, and they managed to keep her alive. But the cost is that death is not happy that she didn't come with him when she was supposed to. And I think that the mother has spent her whole life, outrunning death in one manner or the other. Pedestrian things like making sure that her steaks are well done so she can't get food poisoning, all the way to, driving an old station wagon with pillows and mattresses all over it so she doesn't get in a car crash. And I think that the problem is that since she was supposed to die, anything that she created in the world wasn't supposed to exist. And so that the son, was never supposed to be born. And so death always wanted to take the mother, and he took this opportunity to clear up two of his mistakes. And while the mother died, he also used that opportunity to kill the son, and the cycle, was complete and the scales were balanced. And that's the type of situation that we're dealing with. So,
dun, dun, dun. All right. So, Kevin Tomlinson, it's down to you with our Like Mother story. What is your pitch?
Okay. I have not yet been able to read this entire thing. So,
oh no.
Okay. Oh man, I like RA's. His story's the best.
That's
my
your
story
pitch.
was the same as his, but it was like the original. I was the OG Final Destination ripoff.
Can we mark down the time that Kevin said my story was the best? I want to keep track of that for posterity.
I'll confess that I didn't hear Nick's story, but I still don't think it was as good as RA's.
Ouch, man.
Okay, so I think what we've got is this scenario is an elaborate hit. So the son is actually a member of he's a high profile member of an international group of sort of a cult like group, but they're basically sort of all my words are escaping me right now. They're a secret society, a secret order, and in order to get to them, this hitman had to construct a sort of Rube Goldberg type scenario where he actually is responsible for killing the mother. He actually killed the mother, poisoned her, or did something so that she would die to flush this guy out into the open so that he could then trigger a chain reaction that made it look like he died in this like series of odd events. But in reality, the point was to take him out all along. And because he's gone, there's now a power vacuum in this secret society. and the guy who orchestrated the hit can step in and take over in that role without his rival getting in the way.
All right. Thank you, Kevin Tumlinson. So let us know if you're watching which of those or with those pitches for Like Mother, which one of those you thought win, so we can figure out. Who's going to win this episode. I'm going to put this back up here real quick. Our next story, Cardboard Javier scores big. During the 2014 World Cup, 5 friends in Durango, Mexico made a pact to travel to the 2018 tournament in Russia. But just before they boarded the ship, one of the 5, Javier, told his friends his wife put the kibosh on his trip. So the remaining 4 did the next best thing. They made a cardboard life-size cutout of Javier looking grumpy and wearing a shirt that says, "My wife didn't let me go," and set off for Russia. Cardboard Javier has been very popular at the soccer venues, attracting female admirers, appearing on the big screen, crowd surfing, and being photographed with fellow football fans from all over the world. So what we have here is some guys from Mexico they went to the we keep losing Kevin here. He's back. So these 5 guys wanted to go to the World Cup, but only 4 of them could go. So they made a cardboard cutout of their friend to bring him with, and their friend is actually becoming incredibly popular. Cardboard Javier is probably more popular than real life Javier. Who would like to be the first to pitch us a story based on this? Will I throw up some votes? Appreciate everybody voting on this previous stories. RA and Nick are getting lots of votes. So, Kevin, there's a little warning for you. You guys step it up on this next one. Need you to really hit Cardboard Javier scores big out of the park. Who wants to be the first? Am I going to have to pick somebody?
I can go.
All right, Nick, what do you got?
So I think clearly to me what we've got here is just a typical story of a corporate, what would you call it? Like a really big marketing ploy. So Javier actually works for a company in Mexico that's trying to launch a YouTube channel. And so what they've done is they've decided to fake this whole idea of this guy going with them to the World Cup to try to get plays and stuff, so that eventually that name will generate some subscribers to their YouTube channel, where they can then sell the product that they're trying to sell. And the product they're trying to sell is really, really cool and top secret. And that's why it's a thriller. I don't know. There we go. Give me that damn dun dun dun.
That's an ironic dun dun dun. It's a pity dun dun dun. Best thing I've heard there. All right. RA and Kevin, who would like to be the second to tackle this story about Cardboard Javier scores big. Well, Kevin just removed himself again.
Kevin noped right out of here.
Kevin noped right out of here. So
I'll go. So what I think is that the story that we're following right now is not the real story that's important. I think that what we're dealing with, and maybe in a story on the spot first, I think we're dealing with a cozy mystery. Okay, I think we're dealing with a cozy mystery. I think that Javier's wife gets a bad rap. I think that Javier and his wife work at a bakery together, and that they solve some of the more colorful and innocent crimes that take place around Jalisco, and that his wife wanted him to go, but there was just a murder that took place a couple streets over of an old woman. And so he had to tell the guys that he couldn't go because him and his wife are actually solving mysteries together. And I think that this is the beginning of their cozy mystery story. While he's taking care of keeping the community safe with his wife and baking his cookies, his buddies are just having a good time thinking that he's a whipped guy. But I think that he's solving a cozy mystery. So,
do they solve mysteries with the fat cat who sleeps in the bakery window?
Absolutely, man. Well, they actually have a boxer. That's what they have. They have a dog. It's a boxer, and the boxer eats all the the cake that they drop on the floor. So
Okay. Well, Kevin Tumlinson just reappeared and his name is different. He is now annoyed. Kevin, why are you annoyed?
I can't seem to actually. Everything you guys say is a stutter, so I don't know if you guys are hearing me or not.
make fun of my speech impediment, man.
Well,
I'm having some trouble, guys. Sorry.
understood.
I'm just going to say, I'll summarize my story this way. Invasion of two-dimensional people. There we go.
So it's like a Paper Mario tie-in.
Yeah, we are being slowly invaded by two-dimensional beings. And this is the start.
All right. Hey, okay, so I think due to our collective internet issues, maybe this should be the last story we go through today. So, Nick, why don't you bring us home with a killer story for Cardboard Javier Scores Big? Wait, did you already go?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Was mine not good enough the first time or what?
I'm trying to
I didn't
keep
think of
like
anything
50
better
different...
in the 10 seconds you gave me.
I'm trying to keep like 50 different things here in mind as we're going through this. So everybody went. Okay, let's do one more then. We still have a few minutes. This one. Okay. Well, I'll just leave this up in case Kevin decides to get either more annoyed or come back. This is called Weird
I'm
Wiener.
just going to make him talking to my computer. There he is.
Visitors crowding into a Vancouver, Canada street festival were invited at $38 each to try a new health craze, hot dog water. The drink is marketed as a gluten-free, keto, diet-compatible, post-workout source of sodium and electrolytes, and every sleek bottle, which promises to help with weight loss, also contains a hot dog. It's also a prank. In small print at the bottom of the sales sheet is this disclaimer: hot dog water, in its absurdity, hopes to encourage critical thinking related to product marketing and the significant role it can play in our purchasing choices. Or you could probably choose to view it as not a prank and just have some $38 hot dog water, because it comes with a hot dog.
I'm connected to the computer right now.
It comes with a hot dog. So how can you beat that? Okay, so we've got RA and we have Nick and Kevin sharing one login. RA, Nick, Kevin.
Kevin's saying some very choice words right now. Give me a minute.
Things to say. Go ahead.
This is all just an elaborate ploy for Kevin to have more time to read the story. I'm just going to say that.
I'm out.
It sounds like it. It sounds fishy.
All right, well, give me a good idea for this one, because I don't know about this Wiener kid.
All right, so who wants to go first? RA, do you want to go first since you have the
I'll go, man. Let these guys sort their lives out over there in Texas.
Ouch.
So this is what I think. I think that we are dealing with a psychopathic music fan. Okay, kind of like, I don't know if you saw the movie The Fan with Wesley Snipes and like Robert De Niro, and like it was just all weird and stuff. I think that you have someone who never got over their love of Limp Bizkit in the early 2000s. Okay, they never got over their love of Limp Bizkit in the early 2000s, and so this guy, he's been trying everything he can to get his idol, who is Fred Durst, to pay attention to him, and nothing's worked. He's went to places where he's recording. You know, I think Fred Durst actually makes movies now. You know, the guy shows up on set. He's just doing everything he can to get Fred Durst has had to get restraining orders and everything. And so this is his last desperate plea for Fred Durst to pay attention to him, even if it means getting sued for stealing the name. Because, you know, if you guys will remember, Limp Bizkit's penultimate album, I think, was called the Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. Yeah, it really,
went there, man.
really was. So it's the only place I could go with hot dog flavored water
without hearing the name Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit again. But they did it in Mission Impossible, and then you got me. Man, you got
That's right, man.
You like Rick? It's like a modern day Rick roll.
It is. I'm bringing it back, man. So that's what this guy's doing. He's putting this out there. He's trying to get Fred Durst's attention. so he can have a sit down and tell him how much he means to him, and that's why he's selling hot dog flavored water. So,
well, you want to know the real answer? All right, you want to know what actually
is there a real answer? Hot
really
dog water?
Clearly, what we got here.
It's a classic case of hot dog water.
No, this is a classic case of nanobites technology, and governmental medicating of the population. So they tried the fluoride in the water thing. That didn't really take off. Now what they've got is a way to actually get nanobites into people's systems so that they can right now track them, but eventually control them. Be able to essentially, once the nanobites are inside the people, then the government will be able to actually turn on or off certain functions within humans by letting the nanobites block or open certain passageways, like neural passageways, things like that. And the way that unfortunately, the way that they figured out how to do this, they need to get so many nanobites in people's systems that people would notice that they're going into their system. So they couldn't just put it in Coca-Cola because people would notice there's like little pieces of, it's like a little sludge kind of thing that they're drinking, and then nobody would drink it. So the only way they figured out how to do it was to create these nanobots and roll them up into a really tight roll that looks exactly like a hot dog. And so it kind of tastes salty like a hot dog. And so they throw the beanie weenie into the water bottle and sell it for $38 because the nanobites aren't cheap. And they're passing it off as this super healthy keto thing and telling people to drink it. And what happens is as soon as it hits the water, it starts breaking down. People just think it's a hot dog, but it's actually the nanobite. Just drink it right up, not really thinking about it. Now the nanobites are in people's system. And that's it.
It's also
classic nanobot story. I mean,
and also it's just these are early adopters, so those prices are going to come down over time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Those prices. I mean, once there's some competition, once Elon Musk gets behind the nanobot stuff,
Nano dog.
It'll be a nano dog. You'll have it like a nano chili dog. You'll in the water, all kinds of cool stuff. People do it.
All right, I love the nanobot story, but I got to be honest, it is very hard to beat a Fred Durst related. Desiree says that thanks to Nick, she's terrified.
Desiree, that's the closest I'm going to get to a vote by Desiree. A vote from her, isn't it? The closest I'll ever get.
I don't know. Is Kevin going to rejoin us, or did he leave away and quit the show and discuss?
He seems to be a little pouting over here. He texted me that whole idea, so that's really all votes go to Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
Pouting Kevin.
That shit myself.
Pouting Kevin. Well,
he's not pouting. He's trying to Google why the fuck his phone isn't working.
All right. Okay, I'm going to put our websites here, and I'm going to put up a little reminder to vote by comment. Make sure you visit jimheskett.com, kevintomlinson.com, nickthacker.com, ramcgee.com, or you can just limpbiscuit.com, which probably will, you probably go there and it's like
get a virus.
2003. If you're
probably a MySpace page.
If you want to see what an antique web page looks like, I imagine go to the Limp Bizkit web page. I can't believe
Joan doesn't know who Fred is. I think we should probably link to some Limp Bizkit albums so they give it all for the nookie.
Yeah. I'll update story on the I'll update story on the spot.live so it has Limp Bizkit's discography there.
That's so awesome.
Two albums of theirs.
I'm going to listen to break stuff right now when I get off of here. I'm not even kidding. Kidding.
Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching Story on the Spot, and I hope you'll check out all the stuff below, vote, comment, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.